Nile Post has reported that the Syrian embassy in Kampala has firmly dismissed claims that Ugandan national Ajok, Vicky, has been sentenced to death or beheaded in Syria. Speaking to the media, Syrian ambassador Dr. Tamu Mustafa clarified that Ajok is currently undergoing legal proceedings in Damascus and has not received a death sentence. The envoy described the viral reports circulating on social media as false and misleading. There is no death sentence, the legal process is ongoing, and the matter is before the courts, the ambassador stated, adding that the case should not be politicized or distorted with unverified information. The clarification follows days of heightened public anxiety in Uganda, particularly on social media platforms, where posts alleging that Ajok had been executed spread rapidly. Some messages even claimed she had already been placed on death row, as the embassy says a complete inaccuracy. According to officials, Ajok was detained in late January in connection with the death of our elderly employer in Damascus. Syrian authorities are continuing investigations and court proceedings in line with their judicial system. The embassy emphasized that Ajok's legal rights are being observed and that due process is being followed under Syrian law. Officials further assured Ugandans that the case is not being handled outside established legal frameworks. Dr. Mustafa urged members of the public, bloggers, and online commentators to avoid spreading panic through misinformed reports. Misinformation can cause unnecessary fear for families and strain diplomatic engagement, he noted.
With that girl, mostly what happened is miscommunication. The lady was old, as you wrote, she was 87 years. She's not speaking English well. Now the girl was sick. She had some infection. The victim has told her, but in Arabic, you know, the problem with language. So that girl seems she knows somehow Arabic words. She told her, don't touch my food or my fridge because you are, she told her poisoned, which is not the correct word she has to use. What she wanted to say that you are infected or this, you may give me the infection. That's what the victim wanted to inform the girl. The girl was sick, and when she heard poisoned, and you know this poison here in Uganda is very common to hear. So when she heard that, oh, this old lady has poisoned me, it means I'm going to die soon, so we are going to die together. That's what happened with her, and that's what she confessed herself. Now, secondly, what I want to clarify and tell you, in Syria, we have a very transparent law now. There is no pressure on that girl. Spread in social media that the girl will be killed soon is totally not correct. It is very far. I have to give you a small information about the law in Syria. Yes, the punishment for killing is to be killed, it is true, but not just like that. Not any killing, and not immediately. It has to pass through many steps until it end with the punishment. So that's why don't expect this to be soon. Even in my opinion, it will not happen. There is some facts which will help her, this girl, to reduce that punishment from killing to, it is not 100% approved, but I expect, through my knowledge in law, I think most probably she's not going to.
The update appears to have eased some of the tension that had been building locally. Over the past week, concern had grown among Ugandans at home and abroad, with many calling for urgent government intervention based on reports that have now been officially dismissed. Diplomatic sources indicate that communication channels between Ugandan and Syrian authorities remain active. While no further details about the court timetable were disclosed, the embassy confirmed that proceedings are continuing. Legal experts observing the matter say it is important to distinguish between an ongoing criminal trial and a final judgment. Until a court reaches a verdict, they note speculation about sentencing is premature. Meanwhile, civil society voices have renewed calls for careful reporting and responsible use of social media in sensitive international cases. Analysts warn that viral misinformation can quickly escalate into national outrage before facts are verified. For now, the key development is clear. Ajok Vicky has not been sentenced to death according to officials, nor has she been executed. Her case remains active within the Syrian judicial system, and further updates are expected as proceedings continue. Authorities have urged the public to rely on official statements and credible media platforms for accurate information as the matter unfolds. The question that remains is, Syrian law, which still obeys the retentionist, that is the Muslim culture, is far different from Ugandan law, and that cannot rule out the worries from the concerned people.